here we go again. We'll try another one. This time it's the colours I'm using, different colours. A loose painting again, in the old style, being loose if possible. Not saying we couldn't get anywhere near Mr. Wesson's, Ted Wesson's loose paintings. And they take a bit of getting used to people's eye to get used to seeing them and knowing that the colours are so unusual in his paintings, and yet look perfect. It's weird that you can get looking so good and yet not done really perfect, you know what I mean? The very loose style. Just having to clean the palette out, see what we can do. I'll start with a wet sky. Yeah, well, this is weird. Now I'm going to make, oh God, Barra, his colours in the sky were so unusual, you didn't know what they actually were. They were every colour really. So, let's see if we can mix them up a little bit, all different colours. They're all quite warm as well sometimes, the colours. But never very harsh, never harsh, just a tittle of colour. And that would be it really. Now, if you're outside, you can rely on a bit of weather, like wind, to dry it off for you. A nice steady wash off for you, you know. Nice washes you would use every time. Now the size of things, you see, as well. You're working to design. Probably this would be a third. Another third would be the height of things. It's I'd say we bring in our cottage. Simple. Our little storehouse here. So that's all we have really. We'll put another a barn at the back there, and that would be it. So that's not too high, but about this correct height for this distance in there for that. Now then, another thing. Is trees. Trees if if you try and get the trees to correspond with the size of the buildings, so you don't put tiny trees in, you put bigger trees in. I noticed it's a marvellous thing of doing, but that's what it would do. And also keep the value of your colours the same, more or less. So as you're bringing up into this area of trees, be careful with the colours. Now this is quite a little bit off, probably a bit of blue in this. Okay, so now I'm going to put some burnt sienna on these roofs. Okay. But I'm putting a bit of red in as well, because these colours of these little houses were a queer colour of red, nice colour of red. Okay, a bit straight. Now the next one, another thing, a good idea was to get one red, a little bit of colour red, this pattern, lighter. Right. I should have done with a better brush, but we'll manage. Usually we have it coming from the left side, the light. We have a nice light. Now we'll keep the colours in more or less the same. Not a brilliant brush this. I won't put that. It might be wrong, but this is what happens sometimes. Queer. Wrong, yeah, but makes it interesting. Weird, isn't it? Now this colour on the front here. So gentle a colour. Perhaps a little bit darker, so you could see through it, like it's a clear shade, you can see right through, like that. Now, this is the trees are really wants it to be a dead colour. That's I don't think that's even wide enough for me. Just do that. Now we'll have to have a brown with some bit of blue in to get this dark brown. That's it, up to there, yeah. And what's a bit of weight over here? Okay, up to there. Right, let's see what we're up to now. Yeah. Wet yet, some of it. Okay, so don't forget if you fancy coming to us on our Patreon. There's some nice people on there, ladies and gents, a couple of Spanish guys. Just a little bit more, probably red on that roof. This one only, isn't it? There's one for our Patreon, not our Patreon, sorry, for our YouTube lads and lasses. Now that's loose painting. Brought in a wide tree for a change, which looks better. Not just my idea, but it's other. It's like it's a chord in a way. What you. We're using a chord. Didn't we? That it's like a chord. You just try it. There's a few pencil marks on it. Now, what I think what I've done wrong in this, that I've not got the right colours, what I wanted. You see this colour in the tree here, I think that should have been on here, and this is a little bit too warm, and I never expected it to turn it so warm. It's Winsor and Newton burnt umber. It has a little bit of redness with it. Now, see that at the back there, that was just about right coming in. Then it got a little bit of red colour in it. But the colour of the trees are okay. They're not a bright green, some a leafy green, a viridian type of a green, which would make it, would knock it away from the old colouring of the picture, which you're trying to get the old colour blended more or less the same. So bringing that in here just across very lightly made a difference to it. Just see there's a few little, I think yeah, I just put a few lines in, didn't I, when I started. I don't work to perfection. I don't draw it like when you're at school and you have to learn how to draw cup and saucer. And when you look at things, you draw it as though you're drawing a house perfect, right? Perfect squares, perfect. One side of it's perfect, the other side's perfect. It makes it more interesting if one side of the house is a bit out of plumb. If it's buckling out, you know, if this side's a bit longer that way than that one. Things like that. In the English countryside, these old houses, what used to be around Lancashire where I live, all around Lancashire, you know, as a lad we used to go all round Scammerdale, which is built up, the influx from Liverpool built up Scammerdale and called it Scammerdale. But that was all fields when I was a lad, where we used to go potato picking as kids and pea picking. But it was, they brought everybody from Liverpool and rebuilt those houses all round. They built all that area up. I mean, there was plenty of room in Liverpool with all those big houses which were going to rack and ruin, which could have been replaced and made like new and made it beautiful again. So that's it. Just one or two tweaks. Should I put my name on it? An awful name, isn't it, Alan? Never liked it.